Hello everyone and welcome to episode 15 of Strat Watch. So here we go again, we're going to bring you up to date with all things stratosphere wise in the 15th and final episode of Strat Watch for 2024-2025, and I shall get right back for you in a moment. Just to say back first, the video says our 6 UK weather forecast. We have a 10 to 14 day video, not live stream, this week coming up for you later on this afternoon. So please like, share and subscribe on all today's videos and content. Show everyone for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everyone. Right, okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed this season of Strat Watch. It's been pretty epic. I think we started to be easy in December. We're now into March. And normally we'd have already knocked these on the head, but just kept them running a couple of weeks longer. But I'll talk about that and sum everything up at the end of the video. Let's start off with temperatures currently at 10 HPA. Over the Arctic and North Pole, which is coming from the JMA. So we've confirmed already, I think it was on a 10 to 14 day on Monday, that sudden stratospheric warming has taken place. A major SSW has and is occurring. We've lifted the temperature up above -20 there at 10 HPA in the North Pole. Probably saw about -18, and in a few days we went from about, well, let's say -60 to about -20. So we lifted the temperature up by 40 degrees. Actually, it's a bit more than 40 degrees there, I think. And obviously we're well above average, which is the grey line. For the season, temperatures at 10 HPA have been generally trending cold on average from November right the way through to February. At one point we bottomed out, well, a couple of points we bottomed out close to -80. But yes, it's been a cold season generally, with both stratospheric temperatures. However, we have completely reversed. Now, if we go low down to 30 HPA, there we can see very dramatic warming. At one point this season, we was close to -90. A few days ago, we was around -75, and we are now sitting probably around -28, something like that. So 30 HPA, we've lifted the temperature up, I know, probably by about 50 degrees. So a very, very, very significant warming has taken place at 30 HPA. And again, you see through the season, temperatures have generally been colder than average, and at times very cold at that level of the stratosphere too. And that's one of the reasons we have had a very strong stratospheric polar vortex this winter. Well, this is how things are currently looking. This is the latest GFS run as I'm recording the video. Now, we've got the orange and yellow colours here over the North Pole. Again, that's where we have had that sudden stratospheric warming. It still continues. That levels off for a few days and then re-intensifies big time over Russia and pushes back into the pole itself. Actually, this is going to reinforce or re-enhance the warming and the reversal of solar winds that has already taken place. This also splits the stratospheric polar vortex as well. So split type events is like the three-way split. We've got a lobe of blue over there, lobe of blue down here, and another lobe of blue down there. So that's a three-way split of the stratospheric polar vortex into the extended range. Well, basically, the SPV is done for, and there's no sign of it reforming or getting its act together, so that takes us up to the 27th of March, where likely reversal zone winds will continue, if not reversal, then very, very weak stratospheric polar vortex. This is from Weather is Cool. Again, this just shows that zone winds at 10 HPA have reversed 60 degrees north. That is the technical definition of a sudden stratospheric warming. Remember, a major sudden stratospheric warming event has strict criteria and a strict definition. It has to reverse the solar wind at 10 HPA, 60 degrees north, I think for over 24 hours. I could be wrong on the time frame on that, but I don't think it's just be like for an hour or two. I think it has to be for a slightly sustained period. Anyway, we've well and truly done that. So again, we see the blue line here went into reverse a couple of days ago. We're now down here about as low as we're going to get with this particular warming event. GFS ensembles, the green lines, trying to lift us back up just into positive territory for dropping away again as that second warming takes place in about 6 or 7 days' time. There's no sign that the zone wind will, go stronger than average, at least before the end of April. Of course, through the seasons, Mappo is very cold. Stratospheric temperatures generally, we have had a very strong zone wind, and we see that depicted by the blue line being above the black line, which is like the seasonal trend line. We've had very, very strong zone winds throughout the season, but now that is completely reversed. Well, let's have a look at the ECM. The ECM was picking up on this about 5 weeks ago, so pretty good performance, I think, from ECMW. This is the weekly mean anomaly for 10 HPA, starting with week 1, which, of course, is taking us from the week from next week, actually, from the 17th to the 24th of March. So the bright red colours there telling us that the Stratospheric Warming event carries on into week 1. Week 2 starts to see that edging down, but of course the damage by this point has been done. That's week 3, and then into week 4 and week 5, slowly the temperature started to come down. That's 14th to 21st of April. Could that be the SPV starting to try and get its act together again there? Possibly, but of course we're at the end of the season by then, and if it does try and get its act together, it will be killed off anyway by the seasonal change, just by the fact that the northern hemisphere is getting ever warmer as we're moving into the summer. This is how the wind is forecast for the next 6 weeks from ECMWF. So again, you see ECM also showing that solar wind is well and truly in reverse. We're currently starting off around here, just trying to get the solar wind back into positive territory in a few days' time, and then dropping away again as that secondary warming of the stratosphere takes place that we looked at a moment ago. Then staying generally negative with the solar wind from the beginning to end, gradually by the middle of April, showing signs of just trying to recover and get back into, neutral or slightly positive territory. But it looks like the solar wind is probably going to be reversed throughout the rest of March anyway. So, again, very dramatic, sustained developments taking place in the stratospheric level. Let's just go back to the ECM, see if there's any sign of a tropospheric response. So what we're going to do with that is go here. And then we shall go to the North Pole, and so this is how mean sea level pressure is looking. I haven't done this before on a Strat Watch, but could be interesting, couldn't it, as this is the last one. This is how mean sea level pressure is looking for the Northern Hemisphere for next week, 17th, 24th March. The blue colours is low pressure, so certainly next week, no sign of any blocking response in the troposphere. And all of the high pressures tend to be towards the mid-latitudes. Well, we go through the week 2, which is the 24th to the 31st of March. Then we could be starting to see a response. So you see the pink colours here turning up over the North Pole. The North Pole is very helpfully highlighted there by the ECM. So that might be the sign of a blocking response beginning to appear as early as the 24th to the 31st of March. So there is a mid-Atlantic ridge as well, with this trough here through the west of Europe. That could bring cooler or colder and rather unsettled weather into the north and the west of Europe. What about the third week? Well, then I think that is a tropospheric response. So then we see quite widespread pink colours across the Arctic, really. So right from the Canadian Arctic all the way over to Siberia, and like the core of it is over the North Pole itself. So I think that is a blocking tropospheric response to the stratospheric warming. The idea with this is that it will push cold air out of the Arctic and out of the pole and down into the mid-latitudes. Of course, that's going to be modified by the time of the year. So this is from March into April. If this was like December into January, or January into February, we'd be looking at something a lot colder. But of course, we're talking about a spring warming rather than a winter warming. That is week 5, and that's week 6, or weeks 4 and week 5, I should say. And basically, it looks like the blocking response, the tropospheric response continues there. Now, it takes about a week, 10 days to get going, but once it gets going, it looks like that blocking is in them over the pole, if that is correct. There's only one forecast and one model, but if that's correct, it looks like it could be in for a rather cold April. We could have a look at temperatures, I guess, as well. See if they're corresponding with this. So, there we go. So, we start with week 1. Of course, relatively mild through most of the mid-latitudes. But we go through week 2. So then we start to see the temperature begin to slide for the Atlantic. Still generally quite mild, but across most parts of the Northern Hemisphere. That is week 3. Gradually, the temperature anomalies come down, particularly over Canada. Also a little bit towards Russia as well. Western Europe starting to cool slightly as well. That's the 4th week, and that's the 5th week. So nothing desperately cold showing up, but I guess that's because we're talking about a spring warming rather than a winter warming. Though if we start from week 1, see how vibrantly above average most parts of the Northern Hemisphere are, and go through to the final week, then you see how the colours come down, sort of drained away. So I think there is a cooling trend here from the model, even if it's not going very particularly cold. But of course, it takes a while for the model to pick up on cold conditions. So I would anticipate, certainly like week 2, anyway, this week, and probably week 3. This week, I'd anticipate there will be more blue in reality there when we get to that. Anyway, that's brought you up to date with everything that's going on. Let's just finish off having a look at a past winter one last time, as we have done throughout the season of Strat Watch. So we're going to look at winter 2008-2009. Don't think we've done that. Well, I am starting to get a bit hazy about the years that we have done previously, but I don't think we've done 08-09. So we'll just have a quick look at that one, and then we'll get this final episode of Strat Watch wrapped up. So we'll start off on the 1st December. Blue purple colours, those are cold temperatures at 10 HPA. In the stratosphere, about its stratospheric polar vortex. That's how things are looking on the 10th of December. A little bit of a body swarming happening over towards far east side of Russia. Otherwise, a widespread, very large and powerful looking SPV there. And that goes on into the 20th of December as well. Let's have a Christmas Day, 2008. So really cold stratospheric temperatures towards the northern European side, the Atlantic side of the pole, going down as low as -19. 10 HPA in some places. No sudden stratospheric warming event in December 2008, definitely. That's New Year's Eve. A little bit of a warming happening over Russia, but basically that's well away from the Arctic pole, having no direct impact on the pole whatsoever. Right, January 2009 is looking like that's just New Year's Eve. Again, see the big polar vortex there, and looking powerful as well. That's the 7th of January, 09. Again, that's continuing as well. 14th of January, 2009 looks like that. Now, if you remember 2008, 2009, we did have cold snaps actually in December and January. There were some colder intervals, a very frosty spell around the new year of 08-09. However, it was much towards February that the coldest weather began. Look at this, 20th of January. We got a significant warming happening over the Atlantic and into Greenland. So I think we better go back. Actually, I wasn't expecting that to appear just there. So let's go back to 17th of January. So then we're starting to see 17th of January 2009. Starting to see a little bit of warming across East America and into the Atlantic as well. Let's go through to the 18th of January 09. That's intensifying a little bit more. This is just about a week, 10 days before the Scandinavian high gets going and start turning much colder across northern and western. That's the 19th of January. Significant warming now beginning to appear around in the Atlantic and close to Greenland as well. That is the 20th of January. 09, very substantial warming beginning to penetrate in towards North Pole. Another slight warming happening over on the Siberian side as well. Do we get an SSW 21st of January? Oh yeah, this was very, very significant here. 21st January 2009, we split the stratospheric polar vortex, a lobe of blue spiraling down to Canada and North America. Another one heading off into Siberia. That looks like a classic sudden stratospheric warming event happening about 10 days before the cold weather. And blimey, that is 29th of January 2009. Goodness gracious me. Now that is what you call a sudden mid-winter major sudden stratospheric warming. Get the terminology right, Gav. And look how it's focused on Greenland. So why do we have that very cold start across northern Europe? Europe in the first half of February. So they would have had a very cold first half of February. With that one, blimey, 23rd of January 2009. Wow. I've completely forgotten this. Maybe back then we didn't look at the Strat quite as much on the forums. I don't know, but I've completely forgotten this happened. That is very, very significant SSW there in January 2009 there, and then the 24th of January 09 looking like that. Sustained major warming of the stratosphere. We're now about a week away from getting the Scandinavian high going. 26th of January, just beginning to edge the temperature down a little bit. Of course, now we are looking for the tropospheric response. Obviously, that warming would have reversed as a wind at 10 HPA, 60 degrees north. It would have been enough to do that. 29th of January, widespread warmth across the northern hemisphere, really, and then we go to the 31st of January, and we're looking like that. So warming still continuing there across the polar field. Okay, well, into February 09, of course, this went the cold spell. It's already kicking off across northern Europe. Well, now the temperature begins to edge down a little bit. We can't sustain those very warm temperatures very long, but now we're getting the tropospheric response. 25th of February 2009. Looks like that from a Strat perspective. Again, the temperature beginning to come down. I can actually show you the actual weather chart for that day. It's going to look pretty epic, I would have thought. So there it is. Most of northern Europe plunged into cold conditions. And we've got somebody tracking down. I remember that brought a real snow event there where I am in the towers on the 5th of February. Actually, we had about 3 or 4 snow events through that first week of January here. I was in pole position. Very rare for Gav to be in prime position in the towers, but the first week of February, I was actually had about 3 or 4 very significant snow events from areas of low pressure coming into the cold air there. The line, the divide from rain to snow, I think was from the Bristol Channel to the Humber, or from the Bristol Channel to the Wash. I was just in the exact prime pole position for that one, which, as I say, is very rare for Northamptonshire to be in that position. Right, the 11th, so sorry if I'm off a tangent. Indulging myself too much. 11th of February, we don't seem to have a chart there, do we? So I don't know what's happened there. Let's try and refresh that. Okay, that's the 11th of February, gradually starting to come down with the stratospheric temperature. 19th of February looks a bit like that. So slowly but surely, the stratospheric polar vortex is reforming, and 28th of February 2009 rounded off looking like that. The SPV is back weekly, nowhere near as strong as it was earlier on in the winter, of course. So the second half of February 2009 got much milder, if I remember right, and March 09 was generally quite mild as well. Anyway, that's the final review of the winter of 08-09 for this final Strat Watch. So there we go, we're at the end of Strat Watch now. Some stratospheric warming did occur. We have charted the run up to that SSW, and also we have charted, it's happening. Now we wait to see through the 10 to 14 days what, if any, tropospheric response we get, and we will keep you posted on that over the next few weeks. But for Strat Watch, then we are at the end for this season. So I hope you've enjoyed this season of the Strat Watch. 15 episodes, and each one looking at an individual historic winter. We've done some real epics, including the daddy of cold winter, 62, 63, 78, 79, and also 47. 1947 has been included in that. The very cold January, so the 1940. So all of the big winters with severe cold conditions, we've looked at all of them from a stratospheric perspective. Unique content from GavsWeatherVids through this season of Strat Watches. I hope very much that you have enjoyed them. And however long I'm around here doing this for, I hope that, people will come back afterwards and watch these videos in years to come, and that we've created a legacy with these Strat Watches. I think this has been interesting content that we've done week by week here on the channel. And as I say, I hope, particularly the archive material that was shown every week, people will return back to, you know, and review how these winters occurred. Well, anyway, we're at the end of Strat Watch now, so thank you so much for sitting, for going with this season of Strat Watch, you know, being with me on this journey of Strat Watches from episode 1 to episode 15. We're at the end now. Maybe we'll be back for another season of Strat Watch for winter 25-26. We'll have to wait and see about that. But we're certainly going to be back with 10-14 day a little bit later on, so come back for that later. But episode 15 of Strat Watch. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.